There was a woman named Margaret who lived alone in a small house at the edge of a busy town. She was 81 years old and her days were quiet. Her husband had passed away years ago, and her children lived far away in different states. Every morning she would wake up, make a single cup of tea and sit by the window watching the world rush by. Her pension was small, but it was enough for her simple needs. She didn't ask for much. She just didn't want to be invisible. But in a world that moves so fast, old people often become invisible. That was her life until one cold evening when everything changed. It was a freezing night in late December. The wind was sharp and most people were inside their homes wrapped in blankets. Margaret had gone out to get some bread and milk from the corner store. As she walked back slowly, holding her thin coat tight around her body, she noticed something near the bus stop. At first, she thought it was a pile of old clothes, but then it moved. A young man, maybe in his mid-20s, was sitting on the cold ground shivering. His face was pale and his lips were blue. People walked past him without stopping. Some even crossed the street to avoid him. Margaret stopped. She didn't have a phone to call for help. She didn't have much money in her pocket. Just a few coins and the bread and milk in her bag. But she did something simple and powerful. She walked up to him and said, "You'll freeze out here, son. Come with me." The young man looked up surprised. He was too weak to argue. She helped him stand and wrapped her old shawl around his shoulders. Together, they walked slowly to her little house. She made him hot tea, gave him a warm blanket, and let him sleep on her small couch. She didn't ask a single question. The next morning, the young man, whose name was Daniel, told her his story. He had come to the town for a job that didn't exist. He had spent all his money on a bus ticket and a hotel room for 2 nights. After that, he had been living on the streets for a week. He was too ashamed to call his family and ask for help. Margaret listened without judging him. She cooked him breakfast, eggs, toast, and more hot tea. She told him he could stay for a few days until he got back on his feet. Daniel cried. No one had shown him kindness in a long time. Days turned into weeks. Daniel started helping around the house, fixing a broken door, cleaning the gutters, and chopping wood for the fireplace. He found a part-time job at a local grocery store and started saving money. Margaret taught him how to cook simple meals and how to budget his money. But she also taught him something bigger, that kindness doesn't need a reason. One day, while cleaning the attic, Daniel found an old box filled with letters in a small dusty frame. Inside the frame was a medal, a silver star, old but shining. Margaret explained that her husband had been a soldier, and the medal was for bravery in war. Daniel researched the medal online and discovered it was worth a lot of money to collectors, thousands of dollars. He could have sold it without her knowing, but he didn't. Instead, he showed her the value and asked what she wanted to do. Margaret laughed and said, "What am I going to do with thousands of dollars at my age? Let's sell it and do something good." So they did. They sold the medal to a collector and used the money to help others. They turned Margaret's small house into a warm shelter for homeless people during the winter months. Daniel became the manager, and Margaret became the heart of the place. The town took notice. Donations poured in. Volunteers showed up. The old woman who once sat alone by her window was now at the center of a small movement. Daniel eventually called his family and made peace with them. But he never forgot the woman who saved him. They became family, not by blood, but by choice. The story spread far and wide. A local news channel covered their story. And soon donations came from all over the country. A charity group built a small community kitchen next to Margaret's house. Daniel got a full-time job managing a new shelter in the city, but he visited Margaret every single week. Margaret lived to see her house become a place of hope. She passed away peacefully a few years later, holding Daniel's hand. At her funeral, over 200 people showed up. Many of them had once been strangers just like Daniel. But Margaret saw them differently. She saw them as people, and that was her greatest gift.